Many people hit the road in search of style and speed, but what if they ended up driving a car that was more of a rolling joke than a sleek machine? From the iconic Gremlin to the unforgettable Pacer, the 1970s brought a parade of hilariously ugly cars that still spark laughter today. Join us as we explore the 18 hilariously ugly cars of the 1970s that will make you laugh. Number 18. 1973 Reliant Robin. The 1973 Reliant Robin shows that three-wheel cars don't have to be ugly, but most of them are. The problem with the Reliant Robin isn't just its looks, it's also its desperate appearance. Even its predecessor, the Reliant Regal, had a bit of visual dignity, but the Robin looks like the car you buy when you can't afford a proper car. It's plain, awkward, and seems to crave attention, which we feel justified in ignoring. Number 17. 1970 AMC Gremlin. The 1970 AMC Gremlin was priced at 2/3 the cost of most small cars, which matched its appearance, looking like 2/3 of a car. Despite its unappealing design, the Gremlin was a smart move for AMC. It was cheap to produce and perfectly suited for its time, leading to strong sales by AMC's standards. Although AMC also considered an even uglier version, it's hard to trust the design chief's opinion given his approval of the Gremlin. Number 16. 1970 Porsche 914. The 1970 Porsche 914 is a unique mid-engine car, and designing one with balanced proportions is tough. While Chevrolet has made progress in this area, the 914 stands out due to its unusual features. The car's large space between the B-pillar and rear wheel, odd-shaped windows, and blocky bodywork contribute to its quirky look. Despite its dorky appearance, we appreciate the 914's charm. However, we believe a Porsche should look like a dream car, not an everyday reality. Speaking of unique designs, the 1999 Fiat Multipla could be the poster child for what were they thinking. It looked like a car that couldn't decide whether it was a minivan or a spaceship, somewhere between futuristic. Number 15. 1974 Sebring-Vanguard CitiCar. The 1974 Sebring-Vanguard CitiCar might explain why electric cars are often seen as fancy golf carts. Designed by Sebring-Vanguard, this vehicle had a tiny 2.5 horsepower motor and a body that seemed cheaply made. It had a 40-mile range but took 6.2 seconds to reach 25 miles per hour, short of its top speed. In the late 1970s, commuter vehicles bought and renamed it the commuter car, adding odd bumper extensions, making it an inherently unsafe car. Number 14. 1970 Buick Riviera. The second-generation Buick Riviera was stunning from 1966 to 1969 with its sleek design and hidden headlights. However, the 1970 model was a drastic change. Its awkward grille, oversized rear fenders, and bloated shape made it unattractive. Sales, which had been rising, plummeted when this model arrived. Thankfully, in 1971, it was replaced by the controversial but more appealing boat-tail Riviera. Number 13. 1970 Ford Thunderbird. In the late 1960s, the Ford Thunderbirds were not the most beautiful cars, but they weren't unpleasant either. Then came 1970, and Ford added a huge, awkward front end. It really changed the car's look. Seriously, Ford, what were you thinking? The focus should be on the Thunder, not the bird. Number 12. 1970 Saab Sonett III. The 1970 Saab Sonett III was designed with American buyers in mind, but it missed the mark. The car had an oddly long front end, which was further exaggerated by a large 5-mile-per-hour bumper. The disproportionate design made the car's rear end look awkwardly short. This strange styling made it hard for Americans to take Saabs seriously until the introduction of the Saab 900. Number 11. 1972 Subaru GL Coupe. In 1972, Subaru, like other Japanese car makers, was making headway in the US with practical, efficient, small cars. However, they decided to try something more stylish with the GL Coupe. The result? Not very attractive. It seems the Subaru GL was too long for shipping crates, so they cut off 8 inches from the back, added a bumper and taillights, and shipped it out. Number 10. 1974 Bricklin SV-1. Malcolm Bricklin, known for introducing the Subaru 360 and Yugo to American buyers, tried to create his own car, the Safety Vehicle 1. Unfortunately, it was flawed in many ways. It had oversized bumpers, narrow windows, and outdated turbine-style wheels. The build quality was poor, with warped panels and unreliable headlights. The car leaked, had heavy gull-wing doors prone to braking, and an unreliable electrical system. Overall, the Bricklin SV-1 was both unattractive and problematic. Number 9. 1973 Leyland P76. The 1973 Leyland P76 was a car produced by Leyland Australia that aimed to spread the company's reputation for poor quality beyond Britain. With its odd wedge shape, the P76 could fit a 44-gallon drum in the trunk, which was a rather unflattering feature. Built with the same lack of care typical of Leyland, the P76 sold only 18,000 units in 2 years before being discontinued. Number 8. 1974 Ford Mustang II. In 1974, Ford introduced the Mustang II, a smaller version of the original Mustang. Some people debated whether this change was a clever move or a big mistake, but that's a different discussion. The Mustang II, especially the luxury-themed Ghia model, looked awkward. Ford tried to add a touch of luxury with a padded vinyl roof and color-matched bumpers, which felt out of place. The hubcaps even resembled those from the Ford Granada. While the Mustang II sold well, the Ghia version didn't help much in its success. Number 7. 1974 Vanden Plas 1500. In the 1970s, American carmakers faced criticism for badge engineering, which meant adding fancy features to mediocre cars. British Leyland took this idea further with the Vanden Plas 1500. Based on the poor quality Austin Allegro, it had a chrome grille, leather seats, plush carpet, and walnut tables in the back. British Leyland charged nearly double the price of the Allegro, targeting buyers who wanted a smaller, less impressive alternative to the Jaguar XJ6. Number 6. 1975 AMC Pacer. The 1975 AMC Pacer was an early attempt at making a small car with a wide design. Its large windows aimed to improve visibility, but instead made drivers feel like they were in a fishbowl. The rear taillights were awkwardly styled, and the 1978 model, with a bulging hood and tall grille for a new V8 engine, only added to its unattractiveness. Poorly designed and executed, was considered unattractive long before being a unique choice became popular. Number 5. 1975 British Leyland Princess. The 1975 British Leyland Princess was a poorly designed car that struggled to impress. Initially sold under the Austin, Morris, and Wolseley brands, it eventually became its own model, possibly because no other British Leyland brand wanted it. With its awkward shape and limited trunk space accessed through a small lid, the Princess was impractical and unreliable. After its launch, British Leyland went bankrupt and was taken over by the government, which wasn't surprising given the car's issues. Number 4. 1977 Datsun 200SX. By the late 1970s, Datsun, now Nissan, had built a solid reputation in the US with practical economy cars like the B210 and 510 and exciting models like the 240Z. But then came the 200SX. This rear-wheel drive sports coupe had a 2-liter engine and a grille that looked like an electric shaver. It was neither fast nor fuel efficient and quickly became known for rusting. Number 3. 1977 Leata Cabalero. Donald E. Steinbach from Port Falls, Idaho, tried to improve Chevrolet Chevette by adding 350 pounds of Bondo and fiberglass to make it resemble a first-generation Monte Carlo. He sold these modified cars for nearly double the original price and even made some El Camino-inspired pickup trucks that looked even worse. He named the car after his wife but misspelled the Spanish word for gentleman. Unfortunately, Steinbeck lost a lot of money on the venture, which seems fair given the outcome. Number 2. 1977 Volvo 262C. In 1977, Volvo made the 262C after Henry Ford II visited their plant in Sweden. Impressed by Lincoln Continental Mark IVs, the Swedes decided to create their own vision. Volvo sent their 262 GL Coupes to Italy, where Bertone lowered the roof by 2.6 inches, making the car uncomfortable for anyone over 6 feet tall. Surprisingly, about 6,600 were produced in 5 years, suggesting a market for short people with questionable taste. Number 1. 1978 Buick Century. In 1978, General Motors tried to give the Buick Century and Oldsmobile Cutlass a European look by introducing the Aeroback model. It wasn't really a hatchback since it had a regular trunk, but sales were poor, and GM didn't offer a traditional sedan. After dismal sales, GM rushed a proper sedan for 1980 and kept the Aeroback until 1981. As we've seen, these 18 hilariously ugly cars from the 1970s are sure to bring a smile to your face. Which one do you think is the funniest? Drop a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more laughs.